Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Welcome to Emergency Management Associates. My name is Ron Tyler. We're coming to you from the Area Command, 392 miles west of Kitty Hawk Beach, North Carolina. We want to welcome everybody to our program tonight. We're going to start off this broadcast with a salute to the United States of America. We would ask you now to rise to your feet for our nation's Pledge of Allegiance and the national anthem. Would everybody please rise?
Of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Now would you make welcome, straight from Washington, D.C., the United States Army Corps Quartet.
Yeah.
Oh, say can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the
Oh yeah! Come on, folks, let them know it.
Let them know it. The United States Army Barbershop Quartet performing at the Barbershop Quartet Convention in 2015. We want to thank them for their performance. We want to thank the hosts of the Barbershop Quartet Convention who gave us the Pledge of Allegiance. Thank you very much. Men and women of our military, we want to thank you for your service, whether you be here in the United States or abroad. We also want to thank our allied armed forces, wherever you might be. God bless you all, that you might return home to your families in safety after your tours of duty end. Thank you for your service, and thank God for you. God bless you all. Brothers and sisters, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to join a program in progress right now. What has happened? There's been a shooting at the University of Nevada, Las Vegas. The gunman is dead. There are at least 3 victims. Let's play this clip for you to give you some highlights of what has happened.
preliminary reports of an active shooter on the campus. They did say there appears to be, quote, multiple victims, but did not provide additional information just yet. You can see how active and hectic of a situation it is at this point, but the university itself is saying that this is a confirmed active shooter situation. And I do want to take you back to that tweet that we were just talking about, the X post here from the Las Vegas Police Department as they posted, breaking. We are responding to a preliminary report of an active shooter on the campus of UNLV, and that is near Beam Hall. There appears to be, quote, multiple victims at this time. Please avoid the area and we will have more information soon. We know that police from several agencies are on the scene and we have reporters out there. They're working to gather the latest information here, but this is a very active situation, so not a lot of details are known just yet. You are taking a live look once again. This is outside of the University of Nevada there in Las Vegas as we work to gather more details. We're going to stay on this image here as we wait for more information to come in. You can see police responding there, heading to another location as this is a huge scene at this point. We know that there is some crime scene tape that is up in the distance at this hour. And we also know UNLV, the school itself, has tweeted that university police are responding to additional reports of shots fired in the student union. They say to evacuate the area, and again tweeting in all caps, run, hide, fight. Just moments ago, they also tweeted university police are responding to an active shooter in BEH, continue to shelter in place.
Okay. I would ask everyone there to continue sheltering in place until the police completely confirm that the incident is safe. I would ask everybody to shelter in place until police can confirm that the area is safe. The shooter that they have right now is deceased. There are at least 3 victims there at the University of Las Vegas in Nevada. We will bring you more information as the story unfolds, but at least 3 people have been found deceased, and the shooter is also deceased. This is a sad day in U.S. history. Another one of our universities has been violated by someone that has apparently lost their mind. We'll be back to you about that later. Folks, we have a lot on our plate tonight. I want to take you over to the USGS map again. There's a lot going on. Okay? I'm first going to take you to the Philippines. The Philippines is still a hotbed of activity. Okay? It will be, as I said, for quite some time in the future. Today we've had more earthquakes. Fortunately for everybody involved, these are offshore, completely offshore. There have been no new earthquakes that have hit anywhere near shore. The latest is this one here in red. I just highlighted it. It's a 5.0 magnitude earthquake. This again is 6.2 miles deep, 10 kilometers deep. This is a large 5.3 earthquake, 9.2 miles deep. This is a 5.2 here, a 5.4 here. We go even further north, a 5.3. We also have some 4s here. A moderate 4.6, 40 miles deep. This is a 4.8, 30 miles deep. This is a 4.7. At the height of this event today, there were 13 earthquakes, 13 earthquake aftershocks here. This is going to be ongoing for quite some time. Yesterday we had 5s and 6s. Today's event here is 4s and 5s. 4 being moderate quakes, 5.0 to 5.9 being large, very large earthquakes. This is going to be an ongoing issue since we reported this on Sunday. We had what they reported on Sunday to be a 7.7 magnitude earthquake. They downgraded it to a 7.5. With their own data, we told you and showed you that it was a 9.0 magnitude earthquake. The shaking, the body wave shaking lasted over 21 hours. Let there be no fighting about this or anything else. This was a very major earthquake, okay, with minor tsunami activity, both here in the Philippines and further north over here in Japan, okay, right up here in Japan. USGS shows no activity at all here in Japan. They're full of crap. I'm going to call it like it is. I always have. Over here, off the island of Luzon, Philippines, this is also a 5.0 earthquake. North of there is a 4.6. Right between Luzon, Philippines and Taiwan. There will be more earthquakes. Over here, southwest of the island of Sumatra, Indonesia, we have a 4.5. The earth is still shaking and the volcano is still active over here at Merapi, Indonesia. The situation still has not changed. 23 people are dead as a result of that volcano erupting. We will give you more information as it comes out. The authorities there in west central Indonesia, near the volcano there, have cordoned off the volcano completely. No one is allowed to go anywhere near that volcano at all. It is still erupting. It erupted up to 4,500 feet today. When it first erupted, it erupted up to 50,000 feet. Lava has still gone down the flanks of that volcano, causing almost instant death to those people that ventured up there in the first place. Several people have been hit by lava bombs. Great big huge lava ejected out of the volcano. They were instantly burned and died. It is still erupting today. We'll give you more information about that as it comes out. I'm going down here to Papua New Guinea. This is a large 5.1 magnitude earthquake. This is also an earthquake that is an aftershock of an earlier earthquake just weeks ago. A 5.1 large earthquake, 105 miles deep. We've had an earthquake over here in Vanuatu, another large 5.0 earthquake. Again, they have posted this as 6.2, 10 kilometers deep. 6.2 miles, 10 kilometers deep. We've had earthquakes here that they're not showing over here in Tonga. Mostly 4.5, 4.7 earthquakes. Down here in Indonesia, we've had numerous 2s and 3s here, both on the south and the north island of New Zealand here. We go over here to South Chile, southern Chile, just off the coast here. This earthquake is another 5.0 large earthquake. Also 6.2 miles, 10 kilometers deep. We've had 24 earthquakes over here in South America today. They're showing 3. A 4.3 over here at the border region of Chile and Argentina. 4.3 moderate quake, 72 miles deep. Over here, also in the border region of Chile and Argentina, San Antonio de los Cobres, 64 miles west of San Antonio de los Cobres, Argentina. This is a 4.2 moderate earthquake. 113.5 miles deep here. Other earthquakes here in Peru, Ecuador, and Colombia. Sad that the agency isn't willing to fess up and be real about what has happened. Down here on the Antarctic Ridge, near the South Sandwich Islands, we have another large 5.0 earthquake. 6.2 miles, 10 kilometers deep. Over here in the South Mid-Atlantic, we've had numerous reports of large and moderate earthquakes. Again, the agency refuses to show what has happened. We go over here to Puerto Rico. Puerto Rico. We've had numerous earthquakes, as you can see over here in Puerto Rico. Just north offshore from Puerto Rico, we have a 3.0 earthquake here. 10 miles, excuse me, not 10, 30 miles north off of central Puerto Rico. A 3.0 earthquake, 6.2 miles, 10 kilometers deep. It's unheard of to have an earthquake as shallow. Again, what does 6.2 or 10 kilometers mean? What does it mean? It either means that the USGS cannot find out how deep these quakes are, or it is 6.2 miles, 10 kilometers deep, or they have just arbitrarily thrown that out. I'm sorry, folks. There are plenty of seismographs all over this area. They can tell us how deep these earthquakes are. They're not being honest with any of us. Over here on the northeast side of the island, we have a 2.6 earthquake, 36 miles deep, almost directly south from there. This is over on the shoreline of Puerto Rico, a 2.2 earthquake here, 3 miles southeast of Salinas, Puerto Rico. We go over southwestern Puerto Rico here. Just off the coast, a 2.0 earthquake here. We go up just north of the shoreline here. Okay? This is significant. I'm going to explain why. This is a 2.1. It has a twin earthquake, a 2.4. Folks, this is where the volcano is. This is where the volcano is. When we were bombarded with 2 major 8.0 and 8.4 earthquakes in 2019, those earthquakes were centered down here in southwestern Puerto Rico. The 8.0 happened on December 26, 2019. The 8.4, December 28th, 2019. Destroying houses and buildings, destroying livelihood, knocking out the electricity all over the island. People devastated. They had to sleep in their outside their houses, in the front yards or elsewhere. The second earthquake. The second earthquake was an 8.4. There just happened to be a natural-made arch, like you'd find in Arches National Park, Utah, right about in here. This was a tourist attraction because you don't often see sandstone arches anywhere else in the world. That second 8.4 major earthquake destroyed it. We continue to have aftershocks all over this area, and we will continue to have aftershocks probably into the next 2 or 3 years. These two earthquakes here are aftershocks. Okay? The 2.0, the 2.6. These are southeast of Maria Antonia, Puerto Rico, just offshore. These other two earthquakes near the volcano, they're volcanic earthquakes. They have nothing to do with tectonic earthquakes at all. These are volcanic earthquakes. No, I do not believe that there will be a volcanic eruption in Puerto Rico. But those are volcanic earthquakes. Over here in the Mona Passage. The Mona Passage is the body of water between the Dominican Republic and Puerto Rico. Over here, right next to Puerto Rico, just west from the coast, we have another 2.4 earthquake. This is approximately 7 miles west of Stella, Puerto Rico. This is 4.1 miles deep, approximately 8 kilometers deep. Okay? Now I am going to go over here to Europe. There are earthquakes off the coast of Portugal and Spain here. There are earthquakes here. This is a very popular place for earthquakes to be. These earthquakes come out of Europe, from all over Europe. They come down fault lines. They come down fault lines. Most of these earthquakes come from the South Pacific through fault lines. Tonga, Solomon Islands, Vanuatu, Papua New Guinea, Indonesia, up through Myanmar, across the Himalayas, which is the edge of the plate. They continue to go through here through the Caspian Sea and continue west here into the Black Sea and around. They go through this area, Iran, Iraq, and into Turkey. Some of that seismic energy comes around Greece, through Italy, over also here. One of the natural plate markers here is the Alps, some of the largest mountains on Earth here. earthquake faults. As you can see, they show nothing. But again, this is a lie of omission by the agency. There are earthquakes here and in France and Spain. Out here into the Gibraltar area. And like I said, out here into the Azore Islands. Okay? All over here. They still choose not to talk about it. Over here into Iceland, they're not showing any earthquakes here. There are earthquakes. Magma is also running hot over here. Rigjanes Ridge. There's still volcanic earthquakes here. We've been reporting on them since they first happened. We will continue to report on this. As we get more information, you'll understand why. No earthquakes in Greenland? Yeah, right. Over here in Canada, Eastern Canada, yes, there are tremors and minor earthquakes in this region here. Over here on the eastern part of the United States, you better believe there's earthquakes here. We've had a few minor earthquakes here in North Carolina and South Carolina. I won't go into those today, but we have had them. We have had shaking where I live. Going down here, okay, southern Texas. This is Nixon, Texas. It's a 2.1 earthquake here. Folks, we've explained why we have earthquakes here. If there is an earthquake anywhere between 6 and 10 miles away from an oil and gas pumping station, it is an oil and gas earthquake. This is a 2.1 earthquake near Nixon, Texas, 4.7 miles deep. This one happens to be in an oil and gas exploration field. This earthquake is right next to a roadway. Notice there's a holding pond right here. This holding pond holds treated sewage that is injected into the oil and gas wells to pull up oil and gas. That's how this earthquake came to be. This is a fracking quake. As I pulled it out, you can see more and more oil and gas wells all throughout this entire region. Oklahoma has 586,000 pumps and jacks. Texas probably has twice that many. Okay? We have one earthquake north of here that the agency is telling us about. Again, this is Cole, Oklahoma. C-O-L-E, Oklahoma. In the past 2 weeks, we've reported on seismic activity here. Look at the swarms of activity here. This is a 0.8. This is a 0.8. This is a 1.92.0 earthquake. This is a 1.7 tremor. This is a 1.0 tremor. Oil and gas throughout this entire area. Oil and gas pumping operations all throughout this entire area. Okay? Where you have swarms of earthquakes, what do you usually get from a swarm of earthquakes? Swarms of earthquakes produce produce larger earthquakes. Swarms of earthquakes have been known to produce larger earthquakes. Over here to the east, Goldsby, Oklahoma. Up until now, over the past 4.5 years of reporting earthquakes in Oklahoma, we have never reported earthquakes in Goldsby, Oklahoma. Okay? This is just northwest of Goldsby, a 0.8 microquake. Oil and gas pumping operations, guys. There's an oil and gas pumping operation just south of this earthquake. Oil and gas pumping operations all over the region. You can see it here. Okay? Over here, further to the southeast, Noble, Oklahoma. Again, we've never had an earthquake that's been reported in Noble, Oklahoma either. Folks, look at this. This is another 0.8 magnitude microquake. Okay? Now, if you look here, there are oil and gas pumping operations just to the northwest of this earthquake. Okay? Then we have one other here, two others here. Washington, Oklahoma is 0.6. We've never seen earthquakes here in Washington, but as you can see, there are oil and gas pumping operations here. One more here. This is also 0.6 microquake near Washington, Oklahoma. And you can see it's right here. Washington, Oklahoma. Okay? Oil and gas pumping operations here as well. 586,000 pumps and jacks in Oklahoma. Now, southwestern Texas. This is a 1.7. Okay? USGS just shows it here in western Texas. Yes, it is in western Texas. Why are they not showing exactly where this earthquake is? Your question is as good as mine. Further down here, Toyah, Texas, 2.0 earthquake. There's a small swarm of earthquakes here. 1.5 here, 1.9, 2.0 here, 2.6 here. Over here to the east, a 1.7. Again, near Toyah, Texas. Further west, 2.7 here. There are earthquakes all over this area. Oil and gas pumping operations all over this region. You can see them here. Oil and gas everywhere here. That's why we have the earthquakes. Okay? In a few minutes, we're going to be showing you seismograms from Southern California. We're going to talk about earthquakes in Southern California. Heather, we hope you feel better soon. She says she's going to lay down not feeling well. She's still listening. Love you, Heather. God bless you. A 2.3 just across the border from where? Imperial Valley, California. A 2.3 earthquake just barely from the south of the border area. Okay? A lot of earthquakes here. This is a 1.6 southeast of Holtville. I'm going to show you a seismogram from Holtville tonight. This is a 1.6 tremor. We have a lot more than just a 1.6 tremor anywhere near Holtville. This is Calexico, northeast of Calexico. Calexico is on the U.S. side of the border from Mexico. This is a 2.2. This is a 1.0. This is a 1.8. That is a 2.0. And this is a 1.8. This is 6 miles southwest of Holtville, California. Holtville, California is a very unique community here. It's maybe a community of 25,000 people. They have at least one high school here. I had a speech and debate tournament at Holtville High School. I'm very familiar with this entire area. So we have earthquakes there. I'm going to show you with seismograms that there's a lot more going on than they want to tell us about. We go further west over here, near Ocotillo. On Monday, we had a 5.0 over here in Ocotillo. I'm going to show you seismograms from this area. Folks, they are denying reality. They want us to believe that that earthquake almost never happened. The seismograms don't even come close to showing you the magnitude of this earthquake. 5.0 earthquake here. Actually, it was at least a 5.1. This is a 1.3, 9 miles east-northeast of Ocotillo. This one is 1.0. We're still seeing swarms of activity happening at the epicenter of this earthquake. This is a 1.7. This is a 3.7. This is a 3.4. 4.5 miles deep. This 3.7 is 5.8 miles deep. Close to what the epicenter was. 3.7, 3.4 is coming from a 5.0, 5.1 magnitude earthquake down here in Ocotillo, California, Imperial Valley, California. This is a 1.8. This is also a 1.8. Now I'm going to tell you, you're not going to see much activity on the seismogram from Ocotillo today. They're hiding the information. I'm going to tell you straight up, they're hiding the information. It doesn't even show up on the seismogram. Okay? To the north, Borrego Springs. The seismic activity on the seismogram shows nothing. Over here in the San Diego County, northeast San Diego County, Rancho San Diego, northeast of Ramona. This is a 1.4 tremor. Over here, Chula Vista. Chula Vista is a thriving community, mostly Hispanic community, a 1.3 tremor here. Now I'm going to zoom in to show you exactly where this earthquake is. Okay? This used to be a quarry. It's no longer a quarry. It's a non-operational quarry. This is a 1.3 tremor right next to the community of Otay Lakes. Otay Lakes here. Otay Lakes is part of Chula Vista, east of Chula Vista. Okay? That's what we're seeing here. The quarries are further southwest. Okay? Usually they portray earthquakes like this as a quarry blast, which it is not. That's why I want to show you this. Okay? They don't want to tell the truth about anything here. Nothing. We go further north. Idlewild, California. This is part of the Anza Gap, part of the Anza-Borrego Desert State Park. Okay? I showed you this one in Borrego 1.1. Okay? San Jacinto. San Jacinto. Notice where this earthquake is. On the San Jacinto Fault, a 1.0. Further west, Menifee, California, a farming community, a 1.0 tremor here. Further north, Redlands got hit with a 1.0 tremor. There are other earthquakes here, and I'll show them to you on the seismograms. Okay? You don't see any other earthquakes here except further north here. This is Gorman. This is just south of the Garlock Fault, just west of the San Andreas. Gorman, California, 1.2 tremor today. This is unreal. What I'm going to show you guys is unheard of. Unheard of. Before I go there, I want to show you earthquakes over here in the Mojave Desert. Earlier today they showed 2. All of a sudden, 2 hours later, they want to show us a group of quakes. This one is just south of Trona. Trona was the main place of damage, the main location of damage after the Ridgecrest earthquake. This is Cyril's Valley, a 1.6 tremor here. Also here, Cyril's Valley Ridgecrest area is a 3.0 earthquake, 4.4 miles deep. Okay? Northeast of there, this is Trona, California. This one is actually Trona, California, a 1.3 tremor here. Southeast of there, Shoshone, California, a 2.5 earthquake. This is a 1/4 mile deep, just to give you an idea. Let's go back to the Mojave. This is Little Lake, 1.3 tremor. This is a 2.3, also in Little Lake. This is 1.4 in Little Lake. You go just a little bit further, Cozo Junction. Cozo Junction. The Cozo Volcanic Field. This is just not one volcano, guys. There are multiple volcanoes, cones, and craters throughout this area. Now what you have to know about this area, or what you should know about this area, besides being multiple volcanic cones and craters. This is also home to another geothermal area here, a geothermal pumping area. There are probably close to 50 turbines here. Man has drilled into the upper magma chamber of the Kozo volcanoes to pump steam out of the volcano to generate electricity over at the turbines. The steam powers the turbines to generate electricity for the energy conglomerates here in Southern California. That's what's going on. Okay? You usually don't see this because they're not reporting it. Out of nowhere, they're reporting it now. And I'll let it be. But every one of these earthquakes and tremors happened earlier. They're just barely now reporting them. Okay? Just telling you. Just telling you. Does anybody have any questions so far? I know I've gone pretty fast and I've gone pretty furious. I had a lot to show you around the world. There's not much to show you because the agency, the preeminent seismic energy agency of the world, is not wanting to show you anything. That is what is so sick about this whole agency. Sick people. I have never seen anything like this in my life. I find it hard to believe that we would have an agency like this that would not show us any information. It's unheard of. It is unheard of not to report information, especially the preeminent seismic energy agency. And I just checked their map. I just checked one of their main maps. It's down for maintenance. One more time, just to give them the benefit of the doubt. I just find it interesting that they can get away with not telling us anything. It blows my mind. Yes, I know most of you would think, Ron, just let it go. I've always been someone that likes to tell the truth. I like to show people what is going on. But you can't do that when the agency decides they don't want to show you the truth. I find it hard to believe. Honestly. I find it hard to believe. Let's go over here. I want to show you what happened today, yesterday, on Monday. Okay? This is the Baldwin Hills. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Baldwin Hills. I'm going to enlarge it so you can see what's going on the other seismograms. This is the Baldwin Hills today. I'm going to show you multiple seismograms from different locations, just to give you an idea what has happened here in Los Angeles and areas of Southern California. Baldwin Hills. This does not show you everything. This does not show you everything. This is today. Let's go over here and show you yesterday. This is a seismogram that they would show us from yesterday. What happened in the greater Los Angeles area yesterday? We had a 3.7 earthquake in Southern California, didn't we? I want to show you where this earthquake is. Why am I showing you a 1 hour time period at Baldwin Hills? Folks, typically when we have an earthquake at the pumping operations or anywhere near the Los Angeles pumping operations, the pumping operations nearly cease because right before an earthquake strikes, there's a reduction in oil pressure. And they nearly have to turn all of the oil pumps and jacks off because they know that there's a coming earthquake. The pumps and jacks they leave working have a reduced amount of oil that they're pulling out of the ground because there's an earthquake coming. Whenever we've had a major earthquake here, USGS typically gets notified that they have found a reduction in pressure at Baldwin Hills. It's always reported. Okay? But as you can see, they turned the seismograph off. They don't want to report it. Heaven forbid they don't want to report it. The earthquake that we had was in Fontana. A 3.5 earthquake here in Fontana, California. Northwest from Los Angeles here. You can just barely make out the Baldwin Hills up here in the upper left-hand corner because the map of the world is obscuring most of it. Baldwin Hills is up there. This area here, just north of Anaheim, is Fullerton, where the earthquake happened. Now, I want to show you what actually happened here yesterday. Okay? Let's go over here to Anaheim. This is wild. Look at this. I'm going to reduce this in size so you can fully see it. North to south, left to right on this seismogram. This is what happened at light height. Light height near Long Beach. These are mostly tremors. I do not see anything even close to being large. I don't see anything close to being 3.5 here. The largest seismic activity I see is down here on the bottom. This is tremor activity. 1.5, 1.8 magnitude tremors here. I do not see 2.0s. I do not see 3.0 or larger small earthquakes. None whatsoever. This is light hype, guys. Light hype over here near Long Beach, California. Now I want to go to another one just a few miles away. It's called State Street. Look what we're showing here on State Street. Up at the top, on the left-hand side, this is 5:03 a.m. yesterday morning. That is a 2.3 minor earthquake. That large line, actually it's not large, that line, black line going to the top of that seismogram is about a 2.3 magnitude earthquake, minor earthquake. There are other tremors and minor earthquakes here. Okay? I still do not see a 3.5, 3.7 earthquake here, even anywhere near Fullerton. Now, why am I going into such explanations about that earthquake in Fullerton yesterday? Because, folks, it was felt all over Los Angeles County. The strength of this earthquake was especially felt at Disneyland. Folks, they closed Disneyland yesterday as a safety precaution. They closed it as a safety precaution. All of the rides were closed. They checked it and double-checked it to make sure it was safe. But you don't see much activity at all. Much more than just minor tremors. And maybe a 2.0 minor earthquake. That's all we're showing all up and down this entire seismogram here. And this seismogram is closer to Fullerton than anything else. Okay? They're just not showing the activity here. And what I think you're going to find throughout every seismogram that we show you tonight is they've hidden the activity. They've decided not to show it. Barstow, out into the desert. There's hardly any activity here except for long, minor tremors. 1.0 tremors, off and on, all throughout the day here. The top of tonight's seismograms starts at 5 a.m. and they end approximately 3:30 p.m. Okay? This one here, just long duration tremors. That's it. Tiny, tiny tremors. Let's continue. Let's go over to northeast San Diego County, the Anza-Borrego Desert. Okay? Look what they show today. Not a darn thing. Not even the 6 or 0.7 microquake that hit here. They're not showing anything here. As if nothing happened. Let's go further north to Cabazon. We've shown you some minor tremors at Cabazon. Look here. There's more than just one tremor here. On again, off again, long duration tremors here at Cabazon. But they show us one. They should show us a swarm of earthquakes here. A swarm of earthquakes around Cabazon. Okay? Insanity here. Insanity. Now, I want to go to the east side of Los Angeles County. Fontana. Way out east. Fontana, Cal Electric. Look here. We have tremors. We have minor earthquakes here. 2.0 minor earthquakes. Up here on the left-hand side, the top left. The black line and also the 515 line in red there. That earthquake is at 5:18 a.m. this morning. 5:02 and 5:18 a.m. this morning. 1.8, 2.0 earthquakes, both of them. Okay? Then we come further down here. Okay? The next time we see any decent earthquakes and tremors, it's when we get on through the day. 8:15 this morning on the red line. About 8:19, 8:20 this morning. 2.0 earthquake. Before that, 6 a.m. over on here on the left, we go over here to the right. Different story. 6:13 a.m. this morning. 2.5, 2.6 earthquake on that black line. Look at these earthquakes and tremors here. This is out here east in Fontana. Okay? You can see what happened today, all day long. The same thing yesterday, Tuesday, and Monday. I stopped and checked. We go out to Chino. Good old Chino, California. Look at this, guys. Chino activity still has a lot of seismic energy building. We used to get occasionally tremors out here. Now the whole seismogram is full of tremors. Full of tremors. Not a big deal, but full of tremors here. There are no earthquakes here in Chino. Let's continue. Over northeast of Los Angeles in Del Amo. Good old Del Amo. Look at this. Top to bottom, side to side tremors. Long duration tremors. There may have been a minor 2.0 earthquake or two, but that's all. One of those happened at approximately 5:12 this morning on the top right there. And there may have been one or two more. That's about it. Other than that, nothing but tremors here. Let's continue. Let's go over Ellis, California. Here we see more earthquakes and tremors here. Look at all the activity here. This morning here, 6:33, 6:34, this morning. We have a buildup of tremors that starts into probably a 2.3, 2.4 earthquake, minor earthquake activity. That lasts about a minute and a half. Okay? All you see here are tremors throughout the day until this afternoon. At about 3:15 this afternoon on the red and the red line on the bottom here. Then we have some seismic activity. Tremors building into 2.0, 2.3 earthquakes. Minor earthquakes here. Ellis, California. Let's keep moving. Let's go over here to Elsinore. Elsinore, California, over in southern Orange County. Elsinore activity here is in the town of Elsinore. We have a fault zone called the Elsinore Fault. That originates out over here. It runs south into San Diego County. Okay? All we have here are minor tremors. Very minor 1.0, 1.2, maybe 1.3 tremors. That's just about all. Off and on all day long. Let's keep moving. I want to take you out to the desert, to Fox Airport. Fox Airport. Look at the tremors here. All over, off and on. The biggest probably 1.3, 1.4 tremor, and that's it. Nothing to see there either. Okay? Then I want to go over to south over to Laguna Bell. Okay? This is yesterday at Laguna Bell. Again, we have no sign of a 3.5, 3.7 earthquake that happened in Fullerton yesterday. Nothing. Not a thing. It blows my mind that the powers that be don't want to show it. This is today's activity right here in Laguna Bell. The southwestern coastline over in Los Angeles. Very quiet tremor activity. That's all. That's all. Now I'm going to go up now and show you Los Angeles downtown. Still, they're not showing any activity at all that would have shown us activity at Fullerton. They're hiding it all. They're hiding all of it. Now, I want to show you something that happened at Light Height yesterday over near Long Beach. Look at this up here at the top. This happened about 5:04 yesterday morning, a long time before the 3.5, 3.7 in Fullerton. Okay? This, folks, was a 2.2, 2.3 earthquake yesterday at Light Height. That's all. Over here to the right, a 2.0 magnitude earthquake. 5:14 a.m. yesterday morning. Okay? Again, nothing to prove anything that the Fullerton earthquake happened. The Fullerton earthquake was reported by the USGS and also the EMSC European Agency. Just saying. Okay? Just saying. Now, I want to go over to Mariloma. Look at this. This is just barely south of Loma Linda. Still, the earthquake at Fullerton didn't happen till the afternoon. Look what we have here yesterday morning, just before, actually just after 7 a.m. We have a 2.0 earthquake that lasts for a minute or more. Then it kicks down. Now we have here at least a 3.5 earthquake that lasts a minute and a half. Then that earthquake also kicks down immediately to a secondary wave and kicks right back up to a 3.5 earthquake here in Mariloma. This is nowhere near Fullerton. Nowhere near Fullerton. Two separate, long-lasting earthquakes here. The second one lasting close to 2 minutes. The first one lasting nearly the same. Okay? Mariloma, California. That is a lot of activity. We've never seen this kind of activity at all in this area. Ever. I've been reporting on this stuff for 4.5 years. I've been pulling seismograms for at least 4 of those years. That is the first. That is the first. Okay? I want to show you Moore Park, northwest of Los Angeles now. Look at this. This is tremor activity in Moore Park. This is yesterday at Moore Park. Let me show you today. Look at this. We have a lot of tremor activity here. All of a sudden this morning, let me enlarge this so you can see it. Just after 6:30, 6:31 this morning, we have a 2.0 earthquake. Again, after 7:30 this morning, we have another one. This one lasted about 20 seconds. Again, about a 2.0 earthquake. Then we come down here to just after 11 a.m. this morning. Folks, this is a 3.0 earthquake. A 3.0 earthquake at Moore Park, north of Los Angeles. Not anywhere close to affiliated with anything in Fullerton, but this happened today. Okay? Isn't it interesting that we would have this kind of activity the day after a 3.5 hit Fullerton? Folks, all I'm saying is this. There is activity in the Los Angeles area all the time. We just have to find it, that's all. We just have to find it. This is Pardee. Yesterday. Nothing but tremors here in Pardee. A lot of tremors. A ton of tremors. literally all day long in Pardee. Pardee today. Still a bunch of tremors. Not much change. Let's move on. How about Playa del Rey, Marina del Rey area, the north coast of Los Angeles, a very exclusive community. Folks, look at the earthquake activity here. Long duration earthquake activity, and guess what else? Look at the long lines of magma. This is magma coming in to a magma channel. Magma coming into a magma channel. We don't often see this here or anywhere else in LA. This is a first. This is a first at Playa del Rey, Marina del Rey area along the coast. Very, very expensive homes here. Okay. Rob 52 is here, my good friend, who also used to live in Los Angeles. Even Rob would be surprised by this. This is insanity. Calvin McLean says, real slick USBS, not buying it. I agree. We have seismic activity and magma activity in areas where we haven't seen it before. Isn't that interesting? Now I want to go over to Rancho. I want to go over to Rancho Palos Verdes. This is near where my wife was born. Look at the tremors here. Just very tiny, minor tremors in Rancho Palos Verdes. Not much of anything going on here. Quiet. Dead quiet here. You couldn't get more dead quiet if you paid them. Honestly. Let's go over to Rinaldi. Look at the tremors here. Tiny tremors, ongoing tremors. Okay? It doesn't stop here. The entire area is shaking. Just minor tremors though. Let's go over to Rio Hondo. Rio Hondo today. Okay? Very tiny tremors at 5 a.m. this morning. Look at the rest of it. The tremors build in here. The tremors get longer and they get stronger throughout the day. At the top, just barely 1.0, 1.1, 1.2 tremors ongoing. They don't stop. By the end of the day, look what happens down at the bottom left. That, folks, is 3 p.m. 1500 hours, 3 p.m. Now, folks, we have 1.3, 1.4 tremors. Constant tremors. It goes from almost nothing to something there, doesn't it? It kind of blows my mind. It really does. None of it makes much sense. It really doesn't. Now, I showed you State Street right here today. You can see some minor earthquakes here. You can see a lot of tremors, but you can also see some minor earthquakes. 2.0, 2.5. Still nothing here today. Okay? Oh, gosh. This is yesterday at the same place. Good old State Street. Okay? Anaheim, Long Beach area. Disneyland. All right, let's show you a couple more things here. I want to show you University of Southern California. University of Southern California, Los Angeles. Tremor activity. Again, it starts off with 1.1, 1.0 tremors, nothing more than that. Then they get bigger, 1.2, 1.3 tremors. They don't get much past that. Okay? University of Southern California, Los Angeles. Woohoo! Woohoo! Now, I want to take you out a little bit east. I want to take you over to Walnut La Puente yesterday. This is way east. This has nothing to do with Fullerton at all. This is a volcano. This is a volcano in LA County. Look what we're showing here. These folks are 3.0, 3.5 earthquakes that they've cut off the bottom and the top of these things. You can see where they've cut them off too. Large earthquakes. Large earthquakes, at least 3.5 earthquakes here. This is typical at various places. Bombay Beach out in Imperial County. This is what LBO seismograph used to look like over on the north side of Mount Shasta. Very typically like this. Now you can't see it because they shut off LBO seismograph. It's been shut off for at least 2 years. This is yesterday at Walnut La Puente. Let me show you Walnut La Puente today. Right there. This is even wilder. Look at the earthquakes here. Yes, we still have at least 3.5, 3.7 magnitude earthquakes, especially at that center right-hand side blue seismic signature. That is a good sized seismic event. 3.5, 3.7, 3.8 earthquakes. Back to back to back. Ongoing. And you can see these others here. Mostly 3.0 earthquakes. That is much different. Okay? That's much different. This is today at Walnut La Puente. I'm not quite done. Wait till I show you what I'm going to show you. I want to go south now. North San Diego County. This is Camp Pendleton, the Marine Corps base. Camp Pendleton over on the north side of San Diego County. Look at this tremor activity here. It's all tremors. There's nothing big happening. Yes, Camp Pendleton Marine Corps base has live fire exercises sometimes. We don't know what this is. I surmise that this is probably just tremor activity in northwestern San Diego County. But again, we don't know. Camp Pendleton, California. We don't often get to see this at Camp Pendleton. It's usually much quieter. That's why I say there could have been live fire activity at Camp Pendleton in North San Diego County. Now, while that's happened there, let's wander around San Diego County and see what we can see. Over in El Cajon area, East San Diego County, look at this. This is Pechanga Casino. This is east of El Cajon. Nothing but tremors here except for one thing. Over here on the far right, the lower far right here on the blue line, this would be 2:43 p.m. Pacific time. This is at least 1.5, 1.7 magnitude tremor here on the blue line. We don't often see such large size seismic event. No, it's not a large earthquake. It's just a large tremor, that's all. Maybe a 1.7, maybe a 1.8 tremor. That's all it was. Pechanga Casino in East San Diego County, east of El Cajon. Let's show you around San Diego County now. Okay? I've been just waiting to show you this. Kicks and giggles. Really. Now, let's go over and show you San Diego Gas and Electric at Mission Control. Yes, that's what they call it. San Diego Mission Control at the SDG&E building just north of Mission Valley. This is nothing but tremors here. Folks, this is on the Rose Canyon Fault. The Rose Canyon Fault comes out of Los Angeles as the Newport Inglewood Fault. Once it leaves the waters of LA, they name it the Rose Canyon Fault. The Rose Canyon Fault enters San Diego County in North San Diego County around Encinitas, a beach community of about 10,000 people. It continues south in San Diego County until it goes through downtown San Diego, and then it goes out into the harbor. But here in Mission Valley, we see the tremors here. Okay? Nothing big. 1.3, 1.4 tremor earlier this morning. That's all. That's all here at San Diego Mission Control in the SDG&E San Diego Gas and Electric building in Mission Valley. Okay? Usually we don't see much of anything at that particular location. Now I want to cross over and show you some other places in San Diego County. good old San Diego County. As you remember, on Monday, we had the 5.0 earthquake over in western Imperial County, didn't we? Well, guess what? We saw at San Diego Mission Control Wednesday afternoon here. Actually, it wasn't even yesterday or Monday afternoon, it was Monday morning. Let me blow this up a little bit so you can see it. Okay? This event happened at about 7:58 a.m. Monday morning. Up on the right-hand side on the green line here. Okay? 7:58. It starts off with just some minor tremors. Then at 7:59, it turns into a 2.0 earthquake. Then it turns into something more than that. It turns into a 3.0 earthquake. And that earthquake lasts off and on for a little while. About 30 seconds, in fact. We have a couple 3.0 earthquakes. The ground shakes quite a bit. Then off to the right here on the black line on the left. That's 8 o'clock in the morning. It goes and dissipates into a secondary quake, a 2.0 secondary quake. That secondary quake lasts a minute long. That's how come we know that this was a 3.5 and not just a 3. The secondary wave lasted just over a minute. Then it dissipated into a body wave. And that body wave stretches out for about 4 or 5 minutes. Again, a 3.7 earthquake. Monday morning. It gets started just before 8 a.m. and it continues for about 2 to 3 minutes, including the secondary wave. Okay? This is really the only opportunity that we'd seen any kind of significant seismic activity either in San Diego County or Imperial County. Imperial County is where the Salton Sea is. Imperial County is where the Salton Sea is. Okay? I first want to show you El Centro. Good old El Centro. Right there. Now, we have one of our EMA family members that lives in El Centro. This is what's going on. Yes, we see some seismic activity here. We see some earthquakes here. Some of this is generated by magma beneath the surface in El Centro. 3.0 activity generated by magma out here in El Centro. Guess what? That was today. Okay? Look what happened yesterday. I'm sorry, this is Bombay Beach. This is Bombay Beach. This is over on the eastern side of the Salton Sea. Yesterday. Yes, we see some earthquakes here at Bombay Beach, topped off and bottomed off. Good sized earthquakes here on the San Andreas Fault. Let's go back here. Let's go back here. I want to show you what happened at Imperial. Okay? Again, this is Imperial, the town of Imperial. This is today. I'm sorry, this is yesterday. No sign of that 3.7 here at Imperial. Imperial is just east of Ocotillo. Just east of Ocotillo. Nothing showing there. This is El Centro today. Okay? There's still a lot of activity here in El Centro. Let's keep going. Where did I go here? I thought I had the map or the seismogram from Ocotillo. Yes, I do. This is October 4th on Monday when the alleged 5.0 earthquake hit. Look at this. This is Ocotillo. Where USGS and Caltech is a large 5.0 earthquake here in Ocotillo on Monday. It's not showing here on the seismogram at all. Not one darn thing. This was Monday. That was Monday, guys. Where is it? They've hidden it. They have hidden it, guys. It's non-existent. This is Ocotillo today. We have some shaking going on, guys. I showed you aftershocks here at Ocotillo. Yes, we're seeing some minor tremor activity here. Very minor, 1.0, 1.2, 1.3. Where are the 3.5s? Where are the 2.5s? They're not here. Why not? Why not? Inquiring minds want to know. Why are they not showing? What happened to them? Just a second, let me take this USGS map down. Because they've cut us off and I've got to reinstall it here. Let's go back down here. The seismic activity is still ongoing, guys. Look at this. There's the 3.7 I told you about. There's a 3.4. There's a 1.7. There's a 1.8. There's a 1.8. Out here, there's a 0.9. That's Ocotillo. They're not showing it, guys. Why not? They're showing it on the map, which is usually just the exact opposite. They show us the seismic activity on the seismogram, but they almost never show it on the map. You're seeing here. Just for all of you to know, I want to show you something. I've been out here a lot over the years, a lot. Probably 50 times in the 10 years, well, actually 28 years that I lived in San Diego County. This is Interstate 8. This is Interstate 8, running from the west coast of San Diego all the way out into Arizona. All the way out into Arizona. Ocotillo here, these earthquakes are just south of Interstate 8. Okay? There's one earthquake out here. This is a 1.3. This is a 1.0. Why are they not showing them here? They're not showing anything out here at El Centro. Not a thing. This is El Centro Naval Air Station right there. They're not showing anything of that. Okay? Over here in El Centro, the town, they're still not showing anything here. They're not showing the earthquakes at Imperial. They're not showing the earthquakes down here in Holtville. Nothing. Nothing. Why not? Why are they not giving us information that we need to see, that we want to see? That's the question. That is the ongoing question. Does anyone have any questions here for me? Calvin McLean says it's kind of the insane of them, or something like that, just saying BS, USBS. It's crazy. It really is. There's no excuse for this. There is absolutely no excuse for this kind of behavior. None. None. Nothing. This is Ocotillo. There is nothing showing here. There's not one darn thing showing here. Nothing Monday, nothing today. They want us to believe that nothing goes on. We have a 5.0 large earthquake, and then they don't want to show anything going on. Not a thing. Not a thing. Any questions for me from anyone? I've covered a lot tonight. I know I've covered a lot tonight. Again, earlier this afternoon, we had a shooter, a live shooter over at University of Las Vegas in Nevada. A very bad incident. A very bad incident. Let's take it over here to the news conference. Okay, why are we not having...
And welcome back inside Live now from Fox, taking a live look here, a podium set up as we are waiting any minute now for this news conference to begin. And thanks so much for staying here with us as we take you through this breaking news. I'm Lexi Petrovich here on the desk right now. We're continuing to bring you all of the information that's coming in about this shooting that is happening on the campus of UNLV. We do know that the suspect is dead and that police have put out on X saying that there is believed to be multiple victims in this. So we're hoping to get some clarity here as soon as this news conference begins. And just moments ago, we also had this statement put on X as well from police at UNLV saying this, that we're expecting a news conference as you saw that podium set up, and they said it was going to begin in about 15 minutes. This was over about 20 minutes or so ago, just to give you some context. So this should be starting any moment now. We're going to continue to keep this shot up here for you as we wait for it to begin. We also saw just briefly a second ago someone come up and do a mic check as well, indicating that this is likely going to start very soon here. If you're just joining us, though, this is the breaking news that we have been staying on top of as soon as it came down. The Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department saying ultimately that a suspect was located and is dead in a shooting at the University of Nevada, Las Vegas today. This is very close to the airport as well, so things were stalled at the airport too as this news came down as a precaution, as police were trying to control the situation. Right now, of course, we know that the suspect is dead. We're just waiting to get some clarity as to how things unfolded and if there are other victims and what the conditions of those victims might be. So hopefully we'll be getting some more information here very soon. But UNLV first reported the incident in a post on X at about 11:53 a.m., just before noon, saying that university police responded to a report of shots fired in BEH and to evacuate to a safe area, saying to run, hide, and fight. Now, BEH is the Frank and Estella Beam Hall. That's the facility that's home to the Lee Business School. And so that was the first statement that was put out on X. And it looks like we're getting another feed in right now of the press conference getting started. Let's take you out to it right now.
Of caution. With that, I will turn it over to the sheriff.
I'm Kevin McMahill. I'm the sheriff of the Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department, and I want to say to the community, there's no further threat. I will tell you that this combined police, state, local, and federal law enforcement, along with the fire department, worked very well. As the chief told you, we do have one suspect down. Of course, we have no idea on the motive. There are a number of victims that have been transported to area hospitals. So I don't want to give you false information and tell you how many victims that we have, but we will be providing that update very, very shortly. I want to assure the community there's no further threat. We are continuing the investigation here. This is still a very active and dynamic scene, so if you can avoid the area, we would appreciate it. And we'll be providing additional updates in the very near future. Thank you.
There are victims.
Yes, there are victims.
Yes, on behalf of the entire first responder community, though, of course, our hearts go out to any of the families that are affected by this. Our update right now is that we do have a reunification center that is opened up at the convention center. That's at the North Hall. It will take time to transport students over to that area, but if you can't get a hold of your loved ones right now, your kids or somebody that you're concerned with, then that would be the place to go and to try to go ahead and do that reunification. We will have people there to assist you. We also have a phone number. It is being staffed. It's 702-455-AIDE. And there'll be a website opened up, and it's facofsouthernnevada.com. Okay, and so that is our current information that we have for victim services, and that will change also as or be updated as necessary. But we will have those resources there. Understand when you call that number or you check the website, the information right now will still be limited, and there won't be any specific information as far as individuals that have been injured or deceased.
Sheriff, what's happening on the campus now? I see people leaving.
So as you can imagine, the campus is a very large area to cover. Much like we had in the aftermath of 1 October, there's a lot of additional calls coming in that students hunker down, they're afraid, they're scared. Our officers are going unit by unit, building by building with the university police and the rest of the police officers, firefighters, EMS, and making sure that we don't have any additional victims and or subjects. So we'll be back with you in the very near future to provide an update. Thank you.
And that's it. University of Nevada, Las Vegas. We know there's at least 3 down and the suspect down as well. We send our heartfelt condolences to those families of the deceased. The police will be giving us updates as we go on in the future. God bless all of those. Anybody have any questions before we close it out here? I know I've gone through here very quickly. I didn't mean it to go that quickly, but it has. Any questions? Nobody knows whether the guy was on drugs or not. We have no clue. We don't have any idea. We don't know. We just don't know. It's just a very sad day when we have this kind of activity. It doesn't happen very often, but it happens too often, if you know what I mean. It happens way, way, way too often. Now, I want to give you a short devotional here. As we continue to do every night, I like to leave you with a message coming from my heart to all of you. Our world is full of clowns. Our world is full of unrighteous dominion going on. We are entering the second part of our trilogy of holidays, as I like to call it. We're entering Christmas now. We're very close to it. I want to say this. Let us make Christmas real. It is not just tinsel and ribbon, unless we have made it so in our lives. Christmas is the spirit of giving, without the thought of getting. It is happiness, because we see joy in people. It is forgetting self and finding time for others. It is discarding the meaningless and stressing the true values of our lives, the true value of life itself. It is peace, because we have found peace in the Savior's teachings. It is a time we realize most deeply that the more we love, the more love is expended. The more there is of it for others. When we take of our time to love others, there is more and more of love for others to have. There are scriptures galore talking about the meaning of Christmas. In Luke chapter 2, verse 11, "For unto you is born this day in the city of David a Savior, which is Christ the Lord." This is what we want to look forward to. This is the very thing we are looking forward to. Christmas Day, celebrating the birth of our Savior. May we look for this. May we look for peace in our lives and in our world. There are wars and wars all over the earth. Let's take a minute for peace. Peace be unto you. The Savior said, peace I leave with you. Peace I give unto you. Not as the world giveth I unto you. Let us not be afraid. Let us have peace in our lives. Brothers and sisters, may God bless you. May God continue to be with each and every one of us this day and as we go further into the Christmas holidays. God bless all of us. Before all of us leave, please make sure we give us a thumbs up if you've enjoyed or gotten anything out of this presentation tonight. Give us a thumbs up and let us know, and let YouTube know that you appreciate this program. Please also check your subscriptions and make sure you're still subscribed. YouTube continues to unsubscribe people every day. We're presently up over 1,930 subscribers. I would love us to get to 2,000 before the end of this year. We have just over 20 days to do that. Please, folks, let us bless other people's lives. Let other people know about this program. Tell your friends, your neighbors, your loved ones, your family and extended family, the people you socialize on social media with, and also the people you work with. Again, this is a very important program that we've given to you tonight. We talked about all the earthquakes and seismic activity in and around the Southern California area. Lastly, I think I have this for you. Let me just double check. I thought I had this here. Just a second, guys. I'll find it here. I thought I had this all ready to go. I'll get it for you real quick here. I want to give you an idea of the seismic events that are happening around us. What to expect. The forecast was written by our dear friend Casmario. He lives in the Reno area, Reno, Nevada area. On the West Coast and Mexico, we're expecting a 4.0 to a 6.0 earthquake. Southern California, West Coast and Mexico between now and December 13th. Be on earthquake watch for a 4.0 moderate earthquake to a 6.0 very strong earthquake between Mexico and the West Coast. The West Pacific, a 5.0 to a 7.0 earthquake in the West Pacific. Indonesia, the Philippines, Japan, and Taiwan. China, southern China, a large 5.0 to a 6.5 very strong earthquake for sure. This will happen. Offshore Oregon to California. Offshore Oregon to Northern California. We have the potential for 5.0 to 6.3 worst case scenario. That is the forecast. That is the forecast. We will see you tomorrow with more information. If you have any questions, send us to the email. or send us messenger comments or over to messaging. We will get your message and we'll answer your comments as quickly as we possibly can. Have a good night. God bless you. Be safe out there, whatever you do. We will see you on the other side. Good night, everybody. Much love.